Oh, okay. We're just gonna...
Alright YouTube, we are back. Welcome back to the Daily Grind here at the Custom Shop. Thank you for tuning in once again. We really appreciate you guys watching. We are here today in one of my favorite cars ever, a 1990 Volkswagen GTI MK2. I'm the proud owner of one of these myself. Mine is pretty modified, but we are sitting in an all original 16 valve. This is awesome. This car has been with us for a few months. It's owned by a wonderful client. His name is Rob. Rob, thank you for your business. Thank you for this awesome 16 valve, bringing it down to us. It's been a pure pleasure and joy working on it. But long story short, we did a mini restoration on this vehicle. So pretty much everything suspension-wise, steering-wise, tune-up-wise has been fully replaced. The coolant system, all that good stuff. A lot of refresh on the aesthetic parts. We repainted the flares over, the moldings on the side of the doors. The bumpers have been repainted. We did a paintless dent removal session, so our buddy came down, took out all the dings and dents that were on the hood and the door panels from over the years. We did a refresh of the interior. It's got a brand new dashboard. Cool fact, this dashboard is actually from a Jetta. Now it fits the Golf, but the thing is on the Jetta is this striping across the dashboard is actually chrome on the Jetta. It's only red exclusive for the GTI. So it was very difficult to find a Mark II GTI dashboard nowadays because these cars are so rare and there's so many people that were kind of scooping them up over the past years that there's really not too much left out there. And if people have parts, they're kind of hoarding them to themselves, you know, because this is definitely a car in the future where it's been pretty difficult to find some parts. So if you got the parts, you usually hold on to them. So long story short, we found this great dashboard from a Volkswagen Jetta. We actually re-pinstriped it with red vinyl, and you kind of can't tell the difference. This glove box was carried over from the original dashboard to the new one because it has a 16 valve insignia. Now the Mark II GTI came in two trims, a normal 8 valve and a 16 valve. I personally am the owner of an 8 valve, so basically the motor is basically the same you'd find in, let's say, a Golf. So very economical 1.8 8 valve. But if you were lucky enough in the late 90s, if you were lucky enough in the early 90s to get your hands on a 16 valve GTI, you got a bigger engine, 2.0, 16 valves, it's 4 valves per cylinder. You got some great stuff like sports suspension and these awesome Recaro seats. So we try to keep these seats in good condition because they are worth a good amount. I've seen Recaro interiors for these vehicles go used from anywhere from maybe like $800 to $1,200. So it's definitely kind of like the showpiece of the 16 valve. Once you look in the interior, you see the Recaros, you know the deal. Remember, the Recaros do not come on the 8 valve version, so it is exclusive for the 16 valve. So this is pretty much the top of the line trim package you could have got back then. Mark II is very close to my heart. I love these vehicles a lot. So when Rob hit us up and asked us to do a mini restoration, we were extremely happy. He will be coming to pick this up tomorrow. So again, a lot of hard work. The boys at the shop absolutely killed it. We did new carpets, headliner, radio. I mean, pretty much everything. It's not a full restoration. Like, you know, obviously chassis and things like that weren't, you know, refurbished or, you know, refreshed. But for what you could do as far as like, you know, having it in the shop and just kind of removing parts, replacing parts, maintenance-wise, it's a mini restoration in that sense. So everything here is OEM, everything works really well. Roll-up windows, all the gauges light up, all the options work, AC, heat, so we're good to go. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed. Hope Rob likes it. I think he's gonna be really happy. But this is a phenomenal car. I just had the pleasure of driving around a little bit through Astoria. And let me tell you, man, this feels like the day it came out of the dealer. The suspension, the wheels, the tires, the way it shifts, just everything just feels refreshed, and it's just really, really nice to drive such a dated vehicle and have it feel so robust. Sometimes when you have an older car, you know, no matter how much you work on it, it's tough to kind of get it back to that original form, but I have to say we're pretty proud, you know, of this mini restoration. So, Rob, I think you're gonna like it, boss. This is sick, yo. Hey, all right. Just want to show you guys the engine bay of this Mark II GTI and this wonderful powder coating here. We did a valve cover and the intake manifold and a nice silver powder coat against red. Did the words, or the DOHC 16 valve in red. Really pops and pulls it out. Got some really nice Tectonics tuning, spark plug wires. Shout out to Tectonics tuning. Most of the refresh parts and the maintenance parts on this vehicle came from them. So they're probably one of the last people. I mean, ECS and FCP Euro and stuff, obviously, but Tectonics Tuning seems to really have a good foothold on this platform. So if you guys need any rare parts for it or OEM style parts, hit them up. They got everything for these cars. We're a dealer as well, so if you need us to help you out, come on down. We'll help you out, VW heads. This is like one of the holy grail pieces too. The factory Volkswagen Mark II GTI wiper cowls are made out of like some really thin plastic. So over the years, when it gets hot and cold in this engine bay, it becomes very brittle. So once you remove it, it kind of crumbles. So we're able to find a nice, fresh ABS wiper cowl for our customer, as well as the ECU cover. So I know this doesn't sound too amazing, or maybe, I don't know, too
exciting,
right? It's not too exciting for your viewers, but for the Volkswagen heads out there, you understand how important those parts are. So we're pretty happy to be able to find all the right pieces for our man Rob, and can't wait till he gets it. It drove really well. It makes me like want an original one now, you know? A classic Volkswagen such as this wouldn't be what it is without a set of multi-piece BBS wheels. Check these out. These are the Holy Grail wheels. These are an original 4-lug multi-piece wheel, so they're not bastardized and destroyed like all you people drill like 12 holes inside of RS because you want it on your car. They're made for German cars. This is an original German wheel with an original German bolt pattern, so it's nice to see that. Can't tell you how many poor BBS RS or RM wheels were kind of like taken out of circulation because people try to modify them and they don't machine it right. And wheels don't sit well. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's made for the car. It's made for the car. You know, that's it. But really nice. 195, 50-15, classic standard size for this stuff. On my Mark II, I have mine plussed out to like 245, so need a lot of work to make them fit like that. But this original setup is just absolutely beautiful. Nothing better than an original OEM Plus setup. Well, not even OEM Plus, original OEM setup. All these trims, again, we repainted these trims in a great product called Trim Black. It's made by a company called SEM. So anybody out there with any like old plastics and they turned really gray from the sun or just oxidation, you can actually bring that rich black original color back with this product. This is SEM Trim Black. Check it out. More Wrangler action coming at you. Check this out. This is cool. Like this guy.
Spoon sunglasses.
Customer Jerome. This is Jeep Wrangler. We're doing some modifications on it. He's a pretty cool dude. This is quite creative. Look at the spoons. These are 2 spoons. And they're bent this way and tacked right in the center to make some little sunglasses for the skull back there. It's cool, right?
That was pretty fire. I heard it's missing its jaw now, but...
It is missing its jaw.
Turns it back broken.
Yeah. Yeah, we were working on that last time, and we were under the car. We got up, and one of our guys slammed his back against the lower mandible of that skull.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good, right?
Anatomy class out here.
I know. I was going to be a doctor, but here I am. No, I wasn't. Anyway, Jerome's Wrangler, getting some great modifications. We started this week off with a RIP supercharger, so hopefully we could drop this down and give you guys some pics of that and some coverage of that. All right, Jerome, if you're rocking, you're getting a kick-ass set of brakes here. These are Willwood 4-piston brakes. You have a 2-piece rotor, 4-piston caliper, a lot more stopping power for your Wrangler. Remember, this Wrangler is supercharged. Whenever you add more power, more weight, upgrade your brakes. So many people forget about that. So many people overlook that, whether it's the off-road world, performance car world. It's always like, they leave the brakes for last. But you know what? You gotta stop. You gotta stop. So it's very important. And honestly, it's one of those things when you do, you're like, holy shit, this is awesome, man. Because obviously you stop better, but aesthetically, they look great. So behind the wheel, when you see this nice caliper popping through and this 2-piece rotor, really looks quite nice. I love the color combo matching with the Terraflex pieces too. We've done a Terraflex Sport Lift on this in the past, so it kind of ties all this stuff together. Looks really consistent. I love the black plated rotor too. Now obviously the face of this rotor is not going to stay black. When you clamp the caliper, it's going to shed a lot of this plating off and a lot of this finish off. But what will remain is the center hat in black and the venting in black. So this way, any of those spots that you normally might like get a little rust or stuff like that, you're gonna have this black coating to protect it. So it should look pretty mint for quite a long time, you know? Also back here, upgraded stainless steel brake lines. These won't swell, they have a lot stronger bite. So it's a great combo to add with your Willwood brake setup. Now, Willwood is a phenomenal company. They make brakes for tons of cars. We've done them for FJ Cruiser. We've even done them for Honda Civic. We even serviced them for someone's Acura RSX that we know very well. Shout out. Oh shit. Well, thank you. No, it's okay. I grab it. No big deal. Sorry, I already fucked the video. Custom shop. right, guys, we got a custom shop heavy hitter here. This is our buddy Dave's BMW M4. Oh my god.
Hey, can you come back? Can you come back in like 20 minutes though?
All right, guys, another heavy hitter here at CCS. This is our buddy Dave's BMW M4. You might remember this from the Instagram and other, YouTube videos, but let's go over it a little bit. We have it in the shop today, doing a couple of updates to get it ready for the road, get it ready for this upcoming rally, get it ready for the summer. Let's start off with the wrap. What was it, about a year ago?
No, it's more than that, bro.
More than a year ago, yeah, more than a year ago.
It's been like 2-3 years since wrap's been on.
Set the door, Like, anybody makes noise, they get the camera like.
Just immediately, the camera just senses noise. What?
Alright, so we started off wrapping this M4. Now, currently we don't do many wraps, but back in the day we did a lot of them. We started off with a matte 3M pine green full body wrap. To match that pine green wrap, we decided to add some gold accenting. Customer loves gold. He thought it had a really cool color combination. If you see the seats inside the vehicle too, they have this nice like camel or almost like a peanut butter color, so it really ties in to the gold accents. But let me show you some of those accents we have here. We upgraded this recently with an armytrix exhaust. The tips are powder coated in a black with a gold center to match, which is pretty cool. If you look over here, a beautiful set of Forge Velos Forge wheels. So these are a 2-piece mono wheel. This is a custom wheel, fully forged, maybe 8 to 12 week build. We've talked about forged wheels in the past. I think we touched a little bit upon it when we saw those HREs for the X3M in one of the earlier episodes. But this wheel is completely tailor-made, perfectly made for your vehicle. Again, it's got a little bit of a lead time. The price point's a little higher, but for a car like this, you want that perfect fitment. It's very important to go with a custom wheel. We're running a 20 by 11 in the rear, 20 by 10 in the front. Sounded pretty good.
Okay.
With a nice Michelin Pilot Sport. This sits on airlift 3P air suspension, obviously. Those are tucked up, the whole body's straight down. Got some great carbon fiber aero around. If you look at the aerodynamics too, the carbon fiber splitters, the rear diffuser, we added this nice little gold or copper pinstripe just to tie in the color of the wheels and the interior. If you take it over here to the fenders, you have gold again. Right on the under fender here with the carbon fiber M4 accent. Definitely a flashy car, but I think the colors work really well together. So it's kind of like this nice like show car look, but something you can kind of drive every day and really enjoy it. Dave does drive this car daily, drives it all through New York City, so we're constantly just maintaining it for him, make sure it stays on the road, especially the air suspension. Always make sure that's up tip top and working correctly, because that does take a lot of abuse in these roads in New York City, unfortunately. But it's been pretty good. It's been on air suspension for maybe the better part of 3 years, actually.
And fun fact,
yeah,
Dave has
dude,
went through about
daily driven. So I know a lot of people out there, they're interested in air suspension. If something you can drive daily, you can do it. You just got to be a little more about that life than maybe static suspension, but it can be done.
I'm doing it too.
And our wonderful cameraman, he's on air.
Since 2018 now.
Since 2018, and we did his air suspension right here in the shop. Our buddy Clive, he films all these wonderful episodes. He has an awesome G37. Hopefully we can get Clive's beautiful car on film one of these days so you can kind of see the man behind the magic and what kind of car he drives. So Clive, bring your shit next time. Let's do it. Let's check out the front here, bringing a little more carbon to the front. We have a great carbon fiber front lip here and some carbon fiber splitters. See right here, this is kind of from just bottoming out a little bit, so we'll see if we can, get a little double-sided tape or tie that up for him a little bit, But you have some carbon right here on the kidney grills as well. Pretty nice, man. Carbon right here on the BMW emblem. It looks good, man. It's definitely
we're forgetting to mention.
What's that?
What number lip is this?
Oh man, yes. What number lip is this? I can only estimate at this point, but probably about like maybe the 6th or 7th lip we've put on this car. So again, daily driven, car sits low, sometimes it's not aired all the way up and he's cruising and you get one of those phantom potholes or crazy inclines, you're not ready for it, and there goes your front lip. So this car has probably been through every style M4 lip that's on the market. It's pretty wild. I specifically went with this one because, this time at least, because although it does hang a little lower than the stock bumper, it doesn't hang as low as some of the lips that are out there. So I'm trying my best to just give him a little clearance. But he's been pretty good with this one. I think he's had this on for, I don't know, what do you think, Clive? Maybe...
He had it on when I came for the Champlain Classic, right? This is the same one, or is this a different one?
I think it is.
So this has been almost like
this has been on since the fall.
Oh,
Champlain Classic. Ooh.
yeah, damn.
Oh. We could tie in a little bit of the gold back here too. These like support beams back here, you see it's very popular for M3, M4 guys to do like a nice wrap on those. Sometimes you see like the M colors, but we just did them in gold to kind of bring everything together. But the car's pretty cool. It does have some performance stuff. Again, it has the armytrix exhaust. It has a AFE cold air intake. It has a VRSF downpipe and a boot mode stage 1 tune. So got some stuff going on. I mean, these cars are pretty fast right out the gate, but we definitely boosted it up a little bit. Customer loves the extra power. He said he notices a huge difference, so that's great. But all in all, I think this is a really, really unique looking M4. You know, M3, M4 is a very popular platform. You see all these great modifications for them, but I haven't seen one with this color combo. I think it's kind of striking and loud, but at the same time, it's subdued and it works, you know? It's not like a red car with yellow wheels or anything like that. They are more like earth tone colors. So yeah, having gold wheels and a matte green car might sound a little funky, but actually when you see it, it's tied together pretty well. So it's definitely a unique color. It gets a lot of looks on the road. I was able to drive it yesterday. We brought it by our good friends in Long Island at Waterworks. They're a great detailing spot. Check them out. Anyway, we brought it by there, did a wonderful detail on it. I know it rained, but all in all, the car's pretty clean. And I had the pleasure of driving it back on the highway, and it was turning so many heads. Everybody's like, oh shit, what is that? You know, people thumbs up, so it's really cool. It's just so cool to drive a cool car, right? I mean, anybody watching this, if you have a cool car and anybody gave you a thumbs up or gave you props on the road, it's like totally worth it. You could spend 50 grand on modifications when that one person's like, yo, sick car. You're like, yeah, fuck yeah.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. So, you know, you're a real true car guy if that gets you hyped up, and it gets me hyped up, so this is a good one. Oh, this is awesome too. This is pretty subtle. You guys might not notice this. This is an M4 GTS hood. So, FedEx, I was expecting a package, and they just drove by. So what does that tell me? No package today. That sucks. But anyway, this is an M4 GTS hood, so if you guys are familiar with the M4 platform, there's a model called the BMW M4 GTS. It's more of like a track-oriented version. It's very expensive, over 100 grand for this M4. Very limited production car. And that car does have some individual parts for the M4 GTS that people with the normal M4s or competitions that kind of seek after, or they search after these parts, right? One specifically is those really expensive taillights, which are cool. This car does not have those taillights, but it does have this hood. This is a OEM M4 GTS hood. It is a carbon fiber hood, and it has this great vent right here for heat reduction. It's got the nice hump in the middle. So if you guys have seen the normal hood on the F82 M4, it really doesn't look like this. So now that you see it, it's like, wow, and you could really, really appreciate it. But let me pop the hood, because actually this is a full carbon hood from BMW, so you can actually see some of that dry carbon weave on the bottom. It's really cool to see like an OEM part of that caliber. There you go. It's not the cleanest motor. Remember, it's daily driven. But yeah, you can actually see the carbon weave in here, which is pretty dope, right? That's pretty cool. It's a factory hood. It fits absolutely perfect. That's the whole idea. So when you can get a high-end part straight from the dealer, that's the best, you know, I think. But look at it. See kind of how the seats come into play with the rest of the coloring on the car, right? That's pretty dope. But this is also cool. Shine a little light on the situation. This is a like a custom mount that we made to hold this airlift controller, as well as the controller for the armytrix exhaust, because the armytrix controller allows you to open and close the valves when you want. So we have a spot for all that stuff, as well as his key. So just made a little section for all that. Just got a walkie-talkie here. Let's put that aside. But yeah, pretty sweet, right? So when he starts it up, you got your 3-piece setup. You have your controller for your exhaust. You might have heard it just open. That's it closed. All right, so let's see if we can get a little. That's armytrix. But yeah, it just looks really nice. Everything's super integrated. We did a custom piece here. We kind of did like a vinyl wrap on it, or a, not vinyl like a paper vinyl, but like actual old school vinyl style. So it kind of plays really well with the rest of the texture on the interior. And there's a little like finger divot here, so you can actually pop the controller out. You know, so it's pretty cool, man. I mean, you know, think about it. It's better than just having the controller like flopping around. Maybe you could lose the controller for the armytrix. So it's nice to kind of have everything consolidated in one area. And it looks pretty good on the interior too. So, you know, custom airlift mounts. We've done a good amount of them. Pretty popular. So anybody out there, if you got an airlift controller and it's like flopping around your interior and you want a nice consolidated spot for it, hit us up. We'll make it look super fresh, super clean. Check it out. All right, guys, that wraps up another day here at the Custom Shop. We really appreciate you turning into another episode. All right, guys, this wraps up another day here at the Custom Shop. We really appreciate you tuning into another episode of the Daily Grind right here on YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications, share this video with your friends. Shout out to the man behind the lens, Clive. We really appreciate what you're doing, brother. You are the man. Guys, we'll see you next week. Peace. Heat. Heat. Ooh. Zoom out on the jaw.
The hell? Okay.
That's the rain dance. All right, you ready?